I was 14. It was an average night, around 9 p.m. Me and my little cousin are at his house. I'm babysitting for the night while my mom and aunt are shopping and my dad and uncle are at the movie theater. So we're sitting there and I was feeling really strange. Something was wrong but I couldn't put my finger on it, so I just kept watching TV with my cousin. The feeling wasn't going away, so I got up and walked to the back door to lock it. When I came back through the kitchen I saw what was causing my weird feeling. In the window there was a very decrepit and homeless looking man. Just staring into the window, looking at my cousin. Protective mode turned on. I pretended like I didn't see the guy and I told my little cousin that we needed to go upstairs because our parents would be home soon and they wouldn't want him to be staying up late. So I went upstairs and put him to bed, knowing that there was a man outside that wanted in. I was about 125 pounds and 5 feet 8 at the time and I played football for my school. If I remember correctly, I went downstairs and straight into the kitchen and grabbed one of those meat tenderizing hammers, turned back to the window where I saw him before. Not there. Ran back to the front door and checked that it was locked. Both the deadbolt and the knob were locked. Ran back up the stairs with my meat tenderizer and went into my cousin's room and sat down in front of the door. He asked me what I was doing and I said that he didn't need to worry about it and that he should keep his head low. Called the cops and then my dad and uncle. Cops would take half an hour and my dad and uncle were 45 minutes away. Then I hear a window shatter and the sound of heavy boots walking around on the main floor. I told my cousin to stay calm, hide under the covers and to keep silent. I could hear the guy walking around downstairs. It was horrifying. I gripped the meat tenderizer and waited. About 5 minutes passed and then I heard the boots walking up the stairs. At this point I was having a freaking heart attack. My cousin's door is no more than 10 feet from the stairs. I heard him opening the doors to my aunt and uncle's room, then the bathroom. He walked back downstairs and I heard him open the door to the basement. 15 minutes later the police showed up and burst into the house. It turned out the guy was loose from a mental hospital 1 province away. One evening back when I was in high school, my parents left me with the house for one evening. No biggie, I've been home alone at night plenty of times, so I'm watching TV until I decide to hit the sack. As I'm turning off the lights and making my way toward my room, I reach the hallway leading to both my room and my sister's. As soon as I hit the switch behind me to turn off the lights to my kitchen downstairs and turn back towards my bedroom, I see a shadow figure in front of me at the end of the hall, about 6 feet tall. I'm staring at this in complete shock for about 3 or 4 seconds, and when I try to rub my eyes to see if I'm really seeing this, the figure darts off into my sister's room way faster than a human could go. I felt like I was zapped and I fell to my knees out of shock briefly. I quickly got up though and looked for my dog to make sure he was okay and if he detected this, because under any other circumstances if someone got within 10 feet of our house, my dog would alert everyone immediately by barking. He was in my parents' bedroom, which is basically in the opposite corner of the house from where I had seen this figure, and he had his eyes looking at me with a worried look. So I shut the door, locked it and barely slept in my parents' room that night. I know people have talked about seeing shadow figures before in paranormal investigations, and I know others say sometimes you just see things when you're tired, so I don't know for sure if I actually saw this. It looked real, so I suppose I do believe in paranormal stuff. I just simply don't have much evidence to prove it. I have never seen this figure again, although I may have caught a glimpse another time a few years later. When I was 11 years old I had an afternoon home alone. My mom was out shopping and running errands with my stepdad. I came home from school, euphoric that I could be as loud as I wanted and jam out to some tunes, eat cereal instead of the food my mom prepared and watch cartoons. No homework. I opened the front door and walked towards my room. My room had a glass door stained so you could not see through directly. We lived on the ground floor of an apartment complex. So as I was sitting on my sofa, watching TV, I heard a noise from my brother's room. I was puzzled but not really worried. I thought my brother was home. I called out to him but he didn't answer. When I looked towards my door, a giant figure, all black, moves past my door. This guy must have been at least 2 meters tall. I was so freaked out, my heart was pounding, I felt sick to my stomach. So I opened my window, jumped out into the backyard and tried to see if I could see him through the living room window. Couldn't see anything. I waited and kept an eye towards the front door to see if he left. Nothing. I must have waited for 20 minutes, near tears. I was literally frozen to the ground. After a while I picked up a motherfucking huge rock and climbed back into my room, opened my door and just stormed towards the living room. Nobody was there. I seriously searched every room, every closet, and almost peed my pants. Nothing. My mom arrived shortly after and didn't believe me, but to this day I get goosebumps just thinking about it. Most likely it was a burglar, but it was unnerving to find nothing missing, no cupboards or drawers searched. No trace of him looking through our shit or stealing anything. That's when I started to believe in ghosts. For the remainder of the summer, that is.